Welcome to the podcast.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the British Accent Podcast. I'm Emily.
And I'm Nick. Thank you for joining us again. Today, we have a fun and very useful topic. We're going to talk about how to start a conversation in English.
Yes, this topic is perfect for beginners. Many English learners say they can understand some English, but they don't know how to start talking. So today, we'll help you learn some easy ways to begin a conversation with someone, especially in simple, natural English.
That's right. Starting a conversation doesn't have to be difficult. You just need a few simple sentences and the confidence to say them. For example, if you meet someone new, you can start with a friendly greeting like, "Hi, how are you?" or "Hello, nice to meet you." These phrases are simple, but they open the door to more talking.
Exactly. And after saying hello, you can continue with small talk. That means short, friendly conversation. For example, if you're at school, you can say, "Do you study here?" or "What are you studying?" If you're at work, you might ask, "How's your day going?" or "Are you busy today?" These questions sound very natural in English.
Right, and remember, when someone answers your question, try to continue the conversation. For example, if someone says, "I'm good, thank you," you can reply, "That's great. What have you been up to?" or "I'm glad to hear that." You can also ask simple questions about where they are from, what they do, or what they like to do in their free time.
Yes, for example, you can ask, "Where are you from?" or "What do you like to do on the weekend?" These questions are friendly and show that you're interested in the other person. People enjoy when you ask about them. It makes the conversation feel warm and natural.
And if you're not sure what to talk about, you can always use your surroundings. For example, if you're waiting for the bus, you can say, "The weather is nice today, isn't it?" or "It looks like it might rain." If you're in a cafe, you can say, "This place has really good coffee." Small comments like these can lead to longer conversations.
That's a great point, Nick. Many English conversations start with something small. Maybe the weather, the place, or what's happening around you. The goal is not to say something perfect, but just to start. Once you start talking, it becomes easier to keep going.
Yes, and don't worry if your English isn't perfect. Most native speakers will be happy that you're trying. Even simple sentences can sound confident if you say them with a smile and friendly tone.
Absolutely. So, next time you meet someone new or want to talk in English, try using these phrases. Say hello, ask a simple question, or make a short comment about your surroundings. Every small conversation helps you get better and more confident in English.
And remember, every big friendship or connection starts with a small conversation. So don't be afraid to take that first step.
That's so true, Nick. Starting is the most important part. Once you do it, everything becomes easier.
Alright, let's practice a few examples in the next part of our episode to help you feel more comfortable starting conversations in English.
Let's imagine a few real situations where you might want to start a conversation in English. This will help you understand how to use the sentences naturally. For example, imagine you're at a bus stop and someone is waiting next to you. You can say, "Hi, do you know when the next bus is coming?" It's a very easy question, but it's also a friendly way to start talking.
Yes, that's a good one. And if the person replies, you can continue with something like, "Oh, I hope it doesn't take too long," or "I take this bus every morning, and it's usually late." You're not only practicing English, but also creating a friendly connection.
Exactly. Now let's try another situation. Imagine you're at a coffee shop. You could start a conversation by saying, "Hi, this place smells amazing, doesn't it?" or "Do you come here often?" That's a very natural way to sound friendly and start a short chat.
And if the person answers, you can respond by sharing your own opinion. For example, "Yes, I really like their coffee, it's the best in this area," or "I come here when I need a quiet place to work." These kinds of comments show interest and help the conversation continue naturally.
Right. And if you're talking to someone for the first time, remember to smile and use polite phrases like, please, and thank you. For example, if you're asking for help, say, excuse me, could you help me with something? Or, I'm sorry, can I ask you a quick question? These polite ways of speaking make your English sound kind and respectful.
That's very important. Politeness makes a big difference in English conversations. And if you want to make someone feel comfortable, you can also use friendly body language, like nodding when they speak or making eye contact. These small things make your conversation more natural.
Now, let's think about meeting someone new for the first time. You can say, hi, I'm Emily. What's your name? Or, hello, nice to meet you. Then, after they tell you their name, you can add, that's a nice name. Or, it's great to meet you. It's simple, but it shows that you're friendly and open to talking.
Yes, that's a great example. And after introductions, you can ask simple questions to keep talking. For example, where are you from? Or, how long have you been living here? These are very common small talk questions that help you learn about the person and keep the conversation going.
And here's a tip for all English learners. Don't try to think too much about grammar when you're starting a conversation. It's better to speak with simple sentences than to stay quiet and worry about making a mistake. The goal is communication, not perfection.
Absolutely. People will understand you even if you make small mistakes. What really matters is your tone and your confidence. The more you practice starting small conversations, the easier it will become to speak naturally.
Yes, and remember, you can practice by yourself too. For example, you can imagine situations and say the sentences out loud. You can practice in front of a mirror or record your voice. When you listen to yourself, you'll start to notice how you can improve.
That's a very good idea. Many learners think they can only practice English with other people, but you can also practice alone. If you repeat simple sentences every day, like, hi, how are you? Or, how's your day going? You'll start to feel more confident when you use them in real life.
Exactly. And soon, you'll find it easier to start conversations anywhere. At school, at work, in a shop, or even when traveling. Starting with simple, short sentences is always the best way to grow your confidence in English.
That's right. In the next part, we'll look at more real-life examples of how to start conversations in different places, like in a shop, in a park, or at a party.
Alright, let's continue with some more examples that can help you in everyday life. Imagine you're in a shop, and you need to talk to the shop assistant. You can start with something polite like, excuse me, could you help me find the shampoo? Or, hi, where can I find the bread? It's simple, clear, and friendly. You don't need long or difficult sentences, just polite and easy to understand English.
That's a great one. And after the shop assistant helps you, you can always say, thank you very much, or thanks for your help. Those little polite words make your English sound much more natural. You can even add a bit more, like, I really appreciate it, if you want to sound extra friendly.
Yes, that's perfect. Now, let's imagine another situation. Maybe you're at a park, and you see someone sitting nearby with the dog. You could say, what a cute dog. What's its name? This is such a friendly and easy way to start a conversation because people love to talk about their pets. It helps create a natural and warm connection.
Exactly, and you can continue with something like, I've always wanted a dog, or your dog looks so happy. When you say things like that, you sound friendly and kind, which makes it easier for people to talk with you.
Now, imagine you're at a party or a social event. You can start with something like, hi, I don't think we've met before. I'm Emily. Or you could say, hi, how do you know the host? Those are common ways to start conversations in English when you're meeting new people.
Yes, and you can continue by asking simple questions about what they do, where they're from, or if they come to events like this often. For example, do you live nearby? Or, have you been to this place before? These questions are light and friendly, and they keep the conversation going naturally.
And if you're feeling shy, remember that even just saying, hi, with a smile is a good start. Sometimes, people will continue the conversation for you. What's important is showing that you're open and friendly. The more you practice saying small things, the easier it becomes.
Yes, you're absolutely right. English conversations don't always need to be long. They can be short, simple, and still very good practice. The more you speak, the more confident you'll feel, and soon it will start to feel natural.
Another tip I like to share is to use short comments to show interest. For example, if someone tells you something, you can reply with, "That's nice," "Oh really?" or "That sounds great." These small phrases show that you're listening and help keep the conversation alive.
That's a really good point. English speakers use these short responses all the time. It makes conversations sound more friendly and natural. You don't always have to say something long, just showing that you're listening is enough.
Exactly. And another good idea is to prepare a few sentences before you go somewhere. For example, if you know you're going to a cafe, practice sentences like, "Can I have a coffee, please?" Or, "Do you have any pastries today?" That way, you already feel ready to speak.
Yes, preparation helps a lot. And remember, it's okay to make mistakes. Everyone does when learning a language. What matters is that you try. Every time you speak, you're improving, even if it's just a short conversation.
That's very true, Nick. The key is to practice a little every day. Try saying hello to a classmate, a coworker, or even a shop assistant. The more you use English in real life, the faster your confidence will grow.
Exactly, and soon you'll notice that starting conversations in English will feel easier and even fun. In the next part, we'll practice some short dialogues you can use in daily situations, perfect for two beginners who want to sound natural and confident. Alright, that brings us to the end of today's episode. We've talked about so many simple and useful ways to start a conversation in English, from saying hello to asking small questions and showing interest in others.
Yes, and remember, starting a conversation doesn't mean you need to speak perfect English. What really matters is your confidence, your smile, and your willingness to connect. Even short sentences like, "How are you?" or "That's nice," can help you build great communication skills.
Exactly. Every conversation you start is a chance to practice and improve. So don't be shy. Next time you meet someone new, just take a deep breath and say something simple. You'll be surprised how friendly people can be when you start with a smile.
That's such good advice, Nick. We hope today's episode helps our listeners feel more confident when speaking English in daily life. Keep practicing these small conversations. They really make a big difference over time.
Thank you all for joining us today on the British Accent Podcast.
We'll see you again in the next episode, where we'll keep learning more English for everyday life. Keep speaking, keep smiling, and keep learning. See you soon.